before we begin with the interview, I really want to know what kind of bond you shared with Mr. Kapoor, what it was like, what he was like as a sibling brother.
He was always funny, always entered a room and commanded attention. Didn't demand it, but it just happened naturally. He always made everyone comfortable and laugh, and me and him had a very special bond where we were, you know, we always had our jokes going on. We did this silly stuff we used to come up with, like Gusa Lagakar, and we used to fake fight. We used to, it was more like I was a younger brother to him than a sister, and I've actually found letters written to him saying, "Love, Mandira, your younger brother," which is something I'd actually forgotten about. But, you know, just reminiscing and going through this house and going through drawers and finding photographs of us. And I was always, you know, the one to play football with him and his friends. I was the one who was, we had a very different relationship. And it's sad that the last few years we didn't talk, which is really makes me sad now, because I didn't ever think that my life would go on without having a brother present, or without having, you know, I always knew he was physically there, and I know push comes to shove, he would be there for me. And I wish I'd made more of an effort now, but I didn't know this was going to happen. And I know we would have made up eventually had he been alive. So yeah, it breaks me, because we had so many, I have so many memories with him, but now they're just memories, which is very tough, that I'll never create anymore. So, yeah. Sorry.
Ms. Kapoor, if we talk around the last few days before his death, before Mr. Kapoor's death, what it was like, did any sort of communication, conversation happen between Mr. Kapoor and Mrs. Rani Kapoor?
I mean, they talked all the time. It was, you know, when you coming, Mom, I miss you, I love you. It was, he was a very good son. You know, he looked after Mom. He was very good. And I mean, they spoke all the time. It was always, all after Dad. In fact, when Dad was alive, he would make sure that when he left the house, we called Mom. So I think it became a habit with the three of us to make sure we were always in touch with Mom. And I think, you know, like the both of us, all three of us, it was a habit to make sure Mom was okay all the time. So yeah, they had a good relationship, like every mother and son does.
On 12th of June, when the news broke of Sunjay Kapoor's passing away, the initial few reports suggested that it was due to the bee sting. Now, when the UK coroner's report was made public in the public domain, it suggests more vaguely towards a chronic disease, chronic heart disease. So, how do you find this gap between the initial few claims and now what the report has to suggest?
So, to start with, we told a bee sting, which we've always wondered how a bee went into his throat while he was riding, and Mum kept asking when he's wearing a helmet, how has a bee gone in? So that was the first bit of confusion we had. We unfortunately got the report from the media. We weren't given the report directly in our hand. It's come as a shock that he died of a heart attack, because from what I've heard, he did have his heart checked out, and he had 40% of an artery blocked, which is not a big deal. And the thing is, the family that we come from, my father made sure we had a blood test every 6 months, even when we were in school. So as adults, we've carried that on not only with us, but with our families. We are very health conscious. We have constant checkups. I refuse to believe my brother had not had a proper checkup, and I don't believe he had any heart disease. So for me to suddenly hear my brother's died of a heart attack, who's healthy, who exercised every day, the guy never ate ketchup. McDonald's was out of the question. No ketchup, no sodas, no nothing. Worked out every day, did yoga. You know, it's insane for me to say yes and be like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not, because from a bee sting, it's gone to a heart attack, and someone needs to explain this to the family. Someone needs to give us an explanation on how. And how has this come about? How did a bee sting turn into a heart attack? And how, when you have such a healthy guy, it just doesn't make sense to us.
If I may ask, what was the information given to you or to Mrs. Kapoor with regards to Sanjay Kapoor's passing away, and what time was it, and who was the person who had informed you?
My sister called me. We were in the UK. Mum had gone to my brother's house, had dinner with him, said bye in the morning when we went for Polo. The Air India crash had happened that day, and I called Mum around 4 in the evening, and she said, I'm just sitting home alone. I don't know what to do. I can't switch on the TV. I'm just sitting here. No one's called me. No one's come home. Her grandson hadn't come home. So I said to her, what do you want to do? And she said, can I come back to you? So I sent an Uber. Well, I booked an Uber to get her back to me. She was on her way when my sister called from New York and said to me that, have you heard anything about Bhaiya? And I said, no, I know he's playing polo. And she said, something's happened. And I presumed, as you know, he's in the past, he's gotten hurt, he had many rods put in his arm, leg, all of this. So I said, well, I guess he'll be taken to the hospital and we'll go and see him, you know. She called back basically saying he's gone. And I kept saying, what do you mean gone? So yeah, it was just, I don't even know how to finish this. And then I had to, I spoke to Mum, she didn't know, she was on her way. And then I think Priya called Mum saying that Sanjay's dead, and I don't think Mum made sense of it. And then when she reached me, she was still in shock. And she came upstairs and we sat down, and that's, I think, when it really hit her. But I don't know. It's just, that's how we found out. I don't know if my sister had not found out in New York, if we'd even know. So yeah.
Initially, what were you guys told? How did this happen?
We weren't told anything. We weren't told anything till the next day, till we went to the house. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know where he was. We didn't know when he went to the hospital. We didn't know anything. We didn't know anything. We were just told he's dead, and that was it. We weren't told at what time. We didn't know how. We didn't know anything. We didn't know anything till the next day, so we were just sitting. All we knew is that he's dead, and that was it. Yeah. Yeah.
Please take it, and you need water.
No, but. Carry on, sorry.
Please let it out.
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm good. Sorry.
Gather yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just hard to talk about. Yeah, I'm ready.
Given how quickly and uniformly this whole claim around bee sting made to the public domain, do you think it was more than a rumor? It was a deliberate attempt to actually hide the facts around Sanjay Kapoor's death?
I don't know what to think. I think it's just from the 12th of June has been a big blow for us because a lot has gone on which doesn't make sense to us. We've learned too much which we weren't aware of, and I think we've not been allowed to grieve my brother and grieve this big loss that we've had. And you know, we're 3 women left now. Dad's gone, Bhaiya's gone, we're 3 of us left alone. And I think it's just every day, instead of being allowed to grieve, we're hearing new stuff. And it's just been very difficult for my mom, who's 80, going to be 80 this year, and who's questioning why she's alive and her son's not. And to keep telling her that, I mean, I don't even know what to say to her. What do you say to an 80-year-old woman who's lost a 53-year-old child?
So it's tackling so many things without being able to tackle one thing. It's just so much going on. It's a blur. It's not fair. It's just not fair on any of us what we've gone through, and it's not fair to my mum at all. She's lost everything. She's not only lost her son, she's lost her husband's hard work, her legacy. She's lost everything. And it just, what are we supposed to concentrate on? I don't know. It's what if this has just been, it's like a nightmare that we're not waking up from. And we're not getting answers. We don't know anything going on. We're asking and asking, and we're not getting any responses from anyone out there. So it's been really tough for us.
Ms. Kapoor, the report in question, the UK coroner's report that I have in my hand at the moment, here it categorically mentions with regards to toxicology findings, non-contributive. So apparently there's no more detail with regards to the toxicology findings. However, through this report, the UK authorities there have vaguely pointed it out towards chronic heart disease. You, as the sister of Sanjay Kapoor, were you aware of any such disease or any such medical history of Sanjay Kapoor?
I can tell you one thing. If my brother had an inkling of an heart disease, and I can guarantee you got himself checked out, he would not be playing polo. He would be in a hospital getting it sorted out, because he, like the rest of us, as in this family after dad and the way dad brought us up, health was first. And had there been an inkling of anything, he would have not been polo, he would be fixing himself. So this is baffling for us to find out. From a bee sting, you've gone to this, when it's, to me, this is, I mean, it doesn't add up. It's not making sense to me at all.
The police there has ruled out foul play, has said that it was more of a heart condition which led to the passing away of Mr. Kapoor. You, as the sister who is well aware of his lifestyle, his medical history, what it is about the accuracy of this report?
I'd like to see his the last few checkups he's had. I'd like to see his medical history, because why isn't my mother being given that? Why are we being not given any information on this? Why has mom not been told? Why can mom asked me, she goes, how do they know? When did he do his last checkup? Why aren't we being given this information? That's all I want to know. Is it fair for my mother to be left in the dark about this when we know? I may not have talked to my brother for 4 years, but 4 years in 53 years is a blip. I know my family, I know my brother well enough to know how we were raised and what we were careful about and what we're not. So I refuse to believe that my brother did not have a checkup in the last 6 months. I refuse to believe that. And if anyone can prove me wrong, please do.